Happy Saturday, everybody. Hayden Balgavy alongside Trey Reid with Arkansas Game and Fish. Today is the day.
It's the Super Bowl,
It's
man.
the Super Bowl, baby. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm here. I'm
Yes.
not in a deer stand,
That's a good
though.
point.
But
I
you know,
know.
we got work to do, man. We got work
Oh
to
my
do.
gosh, we got work to do. And hey, let me tell you, Razorbacks couldn't have picked a better bye week. Not only because they're awful right now, but
I was talking with some of the guys on one of the local radio stations this
Yeah.
morning, or earlier in the week, I should say, and there's a lot of people, both on the sports side and
Sure.
the deer hunting side, that are quite happy about not having a conflict. You know, for deer hunters, you know, do I go to the ball game? Do I
Right.
support the Hogs or whatever my college football team is, or do I go to the Deer Woods? And so now you just go to the Deer Woods. You don't have to worry about missing a Razorback game. you
well,
know?
hey, it's pretty incredible. I'm so excited to talk about it. Now, we've talked about this harvest as well. There were a lot of deer that are probably going to get checked today.
Man, a bunch. So to put things into perspective, okay, our estimate is about 300,000 plus deer hunters in the woods this weekend.
Crazy numbers.
And you know, I mean, that's, you got to remember, anybody under 16 doesn't have to have a license. Between
Sure.
the ages of 6 and 15, which is legal, you have to be 6 to hunt deer in Arkansas. They don't need a license, so we're not counting them. And then you think of the 250 to 300,000 licenses we sell. That's probably a conservative estimate. But yeah, talking about harvest, Hayden, we had up until before this, I looked at the numbers about Wednesday or Thursday, and we had around 43, 44, 45,000 deer checked through
Okay.
our archery season, the alternative firearm season that was in October. We'll have that many deer checked today,
That's
likely. I
insane.
mean, 35, 40,000 is pretty average for opening day.
I know we expect those numbers, but that is still insane to
Yeah.
me to hear those numbers.
I know. I mean, our numbers are generally about 190, 200,000 annually. So, yeah, I mean, it's we love our deer hunting in Arkansas, and at the
yeah.
Game and Fish, we were glad that you love deer hunting too. And if you're seeing this, maybe you're already back in from the woods.
I
this
figure you're probably back,
morning,
probably
and-
beat the rain. Hopefully, weather's been
yeah.
okay.
Hopefully you had a big buck walk out or a doe if that's what you were after, but a lot of deer season ahead of us. And boy, it was good to get some rain and
Yes, it
end
was.
this drought, and now we can have a campfire. You know, we were talking about that a
Yes,
couple
we
weeks
were.
ago.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, unfortunately probably can't have a fire at deer camp, but I think we're safe with that now. But do check the burn bans in your county
Absolutely.
to make sure. So
We'll double check everything. Okay, so obviously, a lot of deer hunters, hundreds of thousands here. in the
Yeah,
state, too.
man.
2 weeks though. How about our duck hunting friends getting ready to rock and roll?
yeah, 2 weeks until the opening day of duck season. That's November 23rd this year. And one thing I wanted to talk about today, Hayden, is I've been getting a lot of questions. We've been getting a lot of questions at agfc.com and through our email system and what have you, and social media. There's a little confusion about the duck stamp.
Sure.
A new rule was passed by Congress last year, and we're very excited about it because
Yes.
it's going to simplify things. And I want to say thanks to Senator Bozeman and Congressman Westerman and others from our delegation who worked on that to make it happen, because we are a big duck hunting state, so they
Yes.
were very involved in it. But essentially, there's a new, basically, electronic federal duck stamp. And if you go to agfc.com, for instance, and buy your stamp there, you're not going to get a physical stamp until after the season. And a lot of people were asking about that. Well, I bought my stamp because in the past, the way it worked, you had 45 days grace period where you could hunt, and you showed on your license that you bought it. But
That's
after
right.
that 45-day grace period, you still had to have the physical stamp. And that just allowed for the mailing processing time from the Fish and Wildlife Service and their vendors that are sending those stamps out.
Sure.
Well, this year, it's a little different. You don't have to have the paper stamp at all if you bought the electronic stamp. You'll have that on your license in the app, or if you print out a sheet of paper with your license information.
I
at
love to
home.
save it in my photos on my
Yeah,
phone.
so the game warden's going to see you've got it. You
Yeah.
don't have to show the signed in ink with your name on
Right.
it, physical stamp. As a matter of fact, they're not going to send you that until after the season, and the reason for that is, let's think about this logically.
Sure.
I buy the federal stamp, okay, and then I get it, 3 weeks later. And I've all of a sudden really got 2 proofs of my duck
Oh,
stamp.
sure.
And I give Hayden one, and he doesn't have to buy a duck stamp now, right?
Wow.
And so that's why it's that way. Now, if you want the physical stamp, you can still go to a U.S. Post Office and
A lot of
check.
collectors
yeah,
out there,
right. There
sure.
are a lot of collectors. The Fish and Wildlife Service on their website has some other ways that you can buy it the conventional way. But if you buy it from agfc.com, our license portal, it'll be that electronic stamp, and it'll just be a designation on your license, not the paper stamp.
I know it's a lot of confusion out there sometimes, but really important keynotes saying, listen, in that electronic way, it's the way to go. It's just so much easier.
Well,
than I
everything is,
understand.
it's right there on your phone.
right
and
there.
look, and I get it. Like, I didn't grow up with the internet
Sure.
and computers, and fortunately they came along at a time when I was still able to learn them. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of hunters and anglers out there that have not necessarily totally embrace the electronic, and we still have other ways.
Sure.
You can print it out, and you don't have to carry it on the app. You can carry a paper copy of your license or get the hard card.
It's still 2 weeks.
We
Still
got like
2
a
weeks
credit
too.
card. It costs a couple of bucks, but like it's reloadable, and you just present that to the game warden. He scans it and
Easy.
it shows everything. So other ways to do it. I'm not making you go electronic, but I did want to explain the electronic duck stamp, because we're
Right.
getting a lot of questions about that.
I love that, and so many options too, which is great
Absolutely.
for hunters here in Arkansas. Okay, so before we get out of here, Lake Conway, we've been talking about this. We're going to continue to talk about it for a couple of years now.
For a few more years,
For
yeah.
a few more years now. So big things going on there, and if you hear some choppers going around
Yeah.
Lake Conway, if you live around there, no need to panic.
No need to panic. There are not additional exercises with the military for any particular reason. Now, we are using helicopters this coming week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, to do some fish habitat enhancement. We've been
Okay.
talking a lot about, drying the lake out, and that's really the biggest thing, is we want to dry it out for several years. Vegetation and other stuff's going to grow up, and when it's reflooded, there's going to be a lot more nutrients, but we are doing a lot of habitat enhancement.
Okay.
I mean, fish, structures, PVC structures, brush piles, all kinds of things. But what we're doing this week, we're dropping between 600,000 and 900,000 pounds of gravel into the lake. We've got it staged in these 300-pound bags.
Okay.
I say we've got 300 bags. I don't know how much is in them. There's
a
a
lot.
lot
We
of
got a lot
gravel.
going on,
A
yeah.
lot of gravel. The helicopters are going to pick them up. They're going to drop these bags of gravel in the lake. And what this allows us to do by helicopter is to get it everywhere. No
Sure.
matter, obviously it's still wet right now after all these rains we've
Yes.
had. The water's come back up, but we can still do this because we don't have to drive in the lake bed. Drop it by helicopter. This creates excellent spawning habitat for bass, crappie, your bluegills, your red ear sunfish, the really popular sport fish. So we're going to create some awesome fish habitat. But if you're driving down I-40 or live around the lake, you're going to hear some helicopters
Sure.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Can I swing by my house in Midtown over here? I need some driveway work
You need
done.
some driveway work?
I do.
I
very
don't know,
much.
Hayden. I don't know if we can do
I wish
that,
I
but
was-
maybe I
I
can
wish I was
put you in
joking.
touch with the helicopter guys.
Hey, I wish I was joking too. We seriously got to get some work done at the house. Going to be a little distracted with everything going on, but man, it's that time. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's this time of year, man. It's like when you have baseball, basketball, and football all going on
Everything
in like
going on.
October, November, and with the World Series, and oh man, everything. We got deer, we got ducks coming in a couple weeks, all the small game stuff. Get out there and have fun.
Love it. So excited. Trey, thank you as always. We
Thank
sure
you,
do
Abe.
appreciate it. Y'all, happy first day. So excited for everybody out there. And hey, duck hunters, 2 weeks away. You're almost there. We'll see you next Saturday.